Beat Map Batrep!
Welcome back to Beat Map Batrep, episode 14, Khador vs. Khador, entering round 2. And it'll be my turn 2 to start. So the very first thing that we do is allocate focus. So I put 3 over to my behemoth so he can do some fun shooting. And then I give 1 to each of my juggernauts so that they can run. And the reason I only had 5 focus is because I did upkeep the +3 defense, the Iron Flesh. Those templates are still there because they were a pain to take out, so we just removed them after my guys moved, so they shouldn't actually be there. So they're advancing their 5 inches, maintaining their shield wall and keeping the defense with them. The Butcher moves up behind them, and then both Juggernauts are just going to run up, just getting into position and being very patient here. Don't want to do anything too rash. And then the Behemoth is going to move up, and he's going to target the Widowmakers. So the first shot scatters and hits nothing, and the second shot scatters, comes back and hits one of my own Iron Fang pikemen, but fails to kill him because they're in shield wall. The Grey Lord turning, of course, then advance and drop their Blizzard once again to give me a nice high defense against any shooting attacks. Not too big a deal at this point because his Widowmakers there's only 2 of them left, and there's much less shooting to do. In his turn, he is going to allocate a couple focus to the Destroyer and 1 focus to the Juggernaut, hoping to charge both of them into combat. And then he's going to start off by shooting again at the Behemoth with both of his Widowmakers. And both of them hit, so they get to do 1 damage each. Now imagine if that had been 5 times 2 rather than 2 times 2. They've already taken 10 damage, which is rather significant, so it's a shame that they died so quickly. The Man of War's advance as well as the Devastator. Unfortunately, still couldn't get focus. Karchev took the extra focus, which he can do at the beginning of his activation, and he cast Unearthly Rage, giving everybody boosted melee attacks and melee damage. Then he just moved. And next, his Juggernaut charges in. Unfortunately, because of the obstruction, he can only charge 1 of the Iron Fangs. He misses with his Ice Axe, but he hits with his Open Fist, and of course does enough damage to kill the Iron Fang pikeman. The Destroyer charges in next, but unfortunately is half an inch shy of actually getting his full charge. So his activation is wasted as he loses the other focus. The War Dog moves up into position. The Battle Mechanics run to get ready to repair any jacks that have been damaged, of course, which they will be next turn as they are now next to my Iron Fangs and next to the Behemoth as well. So they're just getting into position there, running their 10 inches. So at the end of round 2, still only minor casualties on my Khador side, having lost 1 Iron Fang pikeman and a bit of damage on the Behemoth. And only minor casualties on his side, although losing the 3 Widowmakers with the Widowmaker Marksman is a little bit more than minor. I wouldn't call it major because they're just 1 unit. But still, it does hurt to have that happen so early in the game. So we're entering my turn 3. I'm just going to jump right into this. First off, allocating 3 plus 1 focus. 3 focus to the regular Cortex and 1 to his Sub-Cortex, which he has as a special rule. He's going to walk in and just start hitting. And so he actually misses with his first attack, and he hits with his second. Now he's got armor piercing, so he does half the armor, but he's only power plus strength 12. But still is pretty good, because it's dice plus 2, I think. So you can see already with the first hit, this is the second one, the first one missed. So the second hit did some damage. Take 1 of his 3 focus off there, hit him again, do a bit more damage, actually rolled nice and high there, rolled a 10. So I think that's 12 damage on his 5, so you see that wrap around. So his right arm got disabled there. Pull another focus away. This is what happens when you're up against a Behemoth. He rolls another 10 for damage, so that's just... I'm rolling pretty high here, which is pretty ridiculous. And he still gets another hit, and he rolls, and he hits, and he does a minimum 2 damage, because he can't roll any lower than 2. So he kills the Destroyer. I actually forgot to use his other focus and fire his weapons, but oh well, life goes on. Then I cast, I can't remember the name of the spell, the one that gives them +3 to their melee damage. It might be Fury, I think that might be the name of it. So they get +3 to their melee damage, but they get -1 defense. So they're actually lower defense at this point than the rest of the game, because for the full game they've been having 18 defense from ranged attacks. And now they declared a charge. Most of them could not charge the Destroyer. I don't think any of them just charge the Destroyer. The War Dog gets a counter charge, and he unfortunately misses, so he just runs back to Karchev that's what he does after he does a counter charge. And now 2 of them are going to be attacking 1 Widowmaker, the other one's going to attack Widowmaker. So the 2 are combining there, or actually I think there's 1 hit. They did not combine, and they killed the Widowmaker. So the second one is going to attack the other Widowmaker, and he misses. And then my other guy's going to attack over cover, and he rolls double 6, so he hits. It's an automatic kill because they're power plus strength 13, and the armor of the Widowmakers, I believe, is only 11, or it's pretty low. And so now we're combining one full attack against the destroyer, but I roll a double 1 for damage. So unfortunately I only do about 5 points of damage. Should have done a lot more than that. And then I had declared my defensive formation, which lets them, after they finish their activation, or after they finish all their actions, they get to just do a full advance except for the officer, and then they're in shield wall. Not that that'll matter too much against a Juggernaut, but it might help out a little against other things. Everybody else moves up, and the Greylord Turnians are going to cast their Blizzard on the Greylord, on the Iron Fang Pikemen, just to help against any magical shots or any the spray attack that Karchev can do. And we're actually not going to put the templates down because it just got a little annoying picking up all the miniatures. So everything in there has concealment. So now we're entering AJ's turn 3. He's allocating a couple focus to his destroyer so they can do some damage. And then he's advancing but keeping in shield wall with his Man of Wars because now my guys are close enough to charge. And he's taking a couple shots, and he actually hits with both the shots from the Man of Wars. They're power plus strength 14, and he fails the damage with the first one because it's up against armor 21, and he fails the damage with the second one. So once again, not having much luck with his dice there. Devastator advances, getting ready to get into combat. Karchev takes the extra focus, and he moves up, and he starts with the explosion thing that he does, and it hits everything at power 14. It scattered a bit, hit his own guy, did manage to damage his own Jack with a couple points. Not too significant, but it does hit 5 of my guys, so now he's rolling damage for all of them. And we're going to take off all the casualties at the same time. Or I think he hit 4 of my guys. I don't remember now. So 3 of the guys died, and the officer took 3 damage. So that was a pretty good shot. And on top of that, it remains as an AoE until the end, or until the beginning of his next turn. And if anybody enters or ends their activation within it, they take power 14. So my guys, if they try to charge a destroyer and they enter that, they are going to die. Now he's doing his spray attack by smashing his axe down into the ground. And he doesn't manage to kill the Iron Fang Pikemen, but he does manage to kill the Greylord Turnian, which is significant because the Greylord Turnians, if all 3 of them are there, they can actually cast a spell which will freeze something in place. But that's if they all make it. And then the Destroyer is going to proceed to destroy the Iron Fang Pikemen who are in front of him, and he has no problem doing that. And he's just going to sit inside that blast, knowing that actually I think he was knocked down when Karchev did his blast thing. And so he had to just stand up and stay in that, and he took another power 14 attack but did not take any damage. Now his mechanics are going to try to heal the destroyer or repair it, and he actually makes all 3 rolls, so he gets 3d6, doesn't roll too well, but he didn't have too much damage on the destroyer, so he manages to repair 5 out of 7 of the damage it took. So we're ending round 3 at this point. Things are becoming a bit more decisive. He's managed to chew through a lot of my Iron Fang Pikemen. I've managed to kill his Juggernaut, but barely hurt his destroyer. His mechanics are alive and well, all his Widowmakers are dead, but his Man of Wars and Devastators are getting ready to charge on the flanks. So stay tuned for round 4. Go ahead and post a comment below who you think is going to win, now based on the results of round 2 and round 3. And we will see you in round 4 with the epic conclusion of this Khador vs. Khador battle report.
Visit miniwargaming.com to see our videos 1 month early.